Picture of His Life is about.
Yes, Picture of His Life is a movie that I've done with my creator partner for Dolphin Boy. And it's a story about a wildlife photographer that has the ultimate goal, and it is to take a picture of a polar bear underwater without protections. He took all the biggest predators on earth and he has done it, but could not succeed with the polar bear. And that was his life mission. While we were shooting this movie, we wanted to also learn more about his personal story. So it is also a quest to learn more. Biggest wildlife cinematographer, and he was with us over there, and he's a character in the movie, and he was diving with Amos under the water. Now, we didn't have a lot of control under the water. In fact, we had no control of what happened under the water because we were above the water. But it was important for us when we're making a movie about the photographer is to make it feel beautiful, look beautiful, and make us feel, the emotions that he was trying to convey with his art. So we kind of tried to synergize between his art and our art, which is the movie. And that's what is a picture of his life. With choosing that title, we're saying he is shooting the picture of his life, but we are telling the story of him. So this
This is also like somehow echoes to that kind of notion of a complexity, and it has a lot of different versions, and it's also quite universal in a way, right? Cool. So let's talk about Aussie. And so maybe can you talk a little bit about what Aussie is about?
Yeah, speaking about Jews, let's talk about Olsi.
Yeah.
So Olsi never believed he will ever be a Jew. He was born in New York, New Jersey, but when he was born, his mother couldn't make it to the hospital. So the whole only place that he could give birth was a Jewish hospital named Beit Israel. A little that Olsi knew that, about 20 years later, more than 20 years later, actually, he will be the last guy to be cut from the Knicks, and he will not be able to fulfill his dream, and he'll find himself in Israel, changing the country, changing himself forever, and becoming,
Aussie is a sequel because of the success on the map. Yeah.
Because On the Map was so successful, and a lot of people call it like our miracle on ice, or we call it the miracle on hardwood. And we won so many audience awards around the world, also in Hong Kong, we're very proud of. Uh, we have called also in some ways the sequel of On the Map because a lot of people were asking, okay, what is the story of Olsi in the team? Because he's obviously a fish out of water because of his height, because of his color, because he is not Jewish and he becomes Jewish. I mean, it's an unbelievable story. But I will tell you that Olsi was actually the first story that I wanted to tell. Before On the Map, I always knew in my life that if there is any story that I want to bring to the United States, it is Olsi because of the roller coaster that he has gone through, because of the love story, because it's a full circle of redemption, because of the hardship. You have almost all the elements that you can wish as a storyteller in such an unbelievable drama and an incredible character. So I'm very lucky to be the one telling that story. I'm actually working on a narrative based on the life of Olsi Perry. And the fact that we made On the Map and we travel with Tal Brody and the team with it so far, I think helped me in some ways convince Olsi